The injury report and incident report are two important forms that Urec uses to communicate information. The injury report is to note anything that happens to a participant that requires more than a Band-Aid for care. The incident report is meant to document any disciplinary action, equipment misuse, failure, or vandalism, fight or altercation, policy violation, theft, or sexual misconduct. Consistent reporting helps the professional staff and supervisor notice patterns in inappropriate behavior or suspicious activity. Completing a form does not necessarily mean that the individual involved will be in trouble. This simply helps us develop a paper trail. If deemed appropriate, your supervisor will follow up and take disciplinary action. Depending on the injury, the report may be completed while you are caring for the individual, or it may need to be done after the situation has been handled. For more minor injuries, this can be done as a conversational piece with the injured party. For more serious injuries, take care of the participants. Once they're stable, the report can be completed. If the injured party is unconscious, you may need to gather information from a friend. To complete the injury report, begin gathering basic information such as name, date, and time of the injury occurred, stout ID, etc. This information can be helpful in contacting the individual for follow-up or to provide EMS. It is important to know whether the injured party was a participant or a Urec employee at the time of the injury. A Urec employee would constitute as somebody on our staff who was working at the time they were injured. If they were injured while they were off the clock, they would be considered a participant. Next, select the location in the facility that the injury occurred. Then select the type of injury and location of injury on the body. It is out of our scope to diagnose anyone. However, for the sake of documentation and communicating with EMS, use your knowledge to make an educated guess. Following that, collect information from anyone who may have seen the injury occur. This can be a staff member or a participant. If nobody saw the injury occur, no names need to be recorded. The emergency care and transportation section tells us more about post-care action. It is important to note that staff members are not allowed to transport the injured party. Note all details of the injury and the action taken. Remember to stick to the facts rather than adding a narrative. If the injured party refuses treatment from our staff, have them sign the form here. The sample or participant detail section will help you gather additional details that will be particularly helpful to EMS. Refer to your first aid training for more information on the sample method. The follow-up will be done by the professional staff. To wrap things up, print your name and date at the bottom of the page. The report should then be given to the immediate supervisor or put in their mailbox if they are gone. The supervisor will share with the facility supervisor, so duplicate reports are not necessary. The incident report has a similar look and feel to the injury report. The first thing you will notice is that the incident report is on a different color paper. This is to help you differentiate between the two reports. Begin by plugging in general information about the individuals involved in this incident. And note the date that the report has been completed. Hopefully that is the same day that the incident happened, so details are fresh in your mind. Check the general nature of the incident. Later on in the form, you will give more specific details. For theft and sexual misconduct, further action will be necessary. You can work with your supervisor on those steps. If any of the involved parties were Urec employees, check yes and note their name. The rest of the form will be completed in a similar manner to the injury report. Again, give this form to your immediate supervisor or leave a copy in their mailbox if they are gone. Your supervisor and the facility supervisor will look at previous incident reports to see if the individuals involved have been involved in any previous reporting. Consistency cannot be stressed enough in incident reporting. This allows for professional staff to see patterns of behavior that will make all our jobs easier if addressed early on. A final note, if EMS is called or any large incidents occur, it is a common courtesy to call or text your supervisor so they have a heads up if they are not around at the time.